So I asked you guys what questions you had about behind the scenes beauty YouTube, and you guys delivered. So let's get ready and let's answer those questions. Okay, the first response on Instagram wants to know how my sister inspires me every day. Madison, I know that was you. Ooh, but while we're talking about you, Moo, shameless plug for our podcast, Calamity Jane's. It's a disaster podcast. Madison and I just talk about disasters. I'll put links down there. It's super fun. We upload an episode every week. Okay, and then over on YouTube, I had a couple of questions fall under the PR category, and then similarly about my makeup storage. So specifically PR, how much I get, the kind of waste that it generates. I actually don't get nearly as much now as I used to, and I didn't remove myself from lists like a lot of people did because of the waste that it generates. I kind of naturally fell off lists. I think it's because as brands manage their PR lists, they audit the accounts, the people that they are sending PR to. At least when I was working in advertising, very much something that was done. You make sure how active they are, how active their followers are. And I am well aware that I have not been the most consistent over the past 2 years in terms of creating content. So that could be one reason. Maybe brands are also just sending less of it out. I feel like we're seeing less PR unboxing videos here on YouTube, which could just be a reflection of how viewership has changed. I feel like people used to be very interested and curious about them, and now it's more like we're over all of that new product. It's overwhelming. We're sick of seeing it. I'm not sure. What do you think? I mean, obviously people still watch it, but I feel like it's less. I don't know. Either way, I don't receive nearly as much PR as I used to, and that's okay. It generates less waste, and I really, a year ago, really downsized my makeup collection down to where I had getting into storage now, 3 of the Alex IKEA drawers that everyone back in the day had, and I've had mine for quite some time now. Where is my concealer? And I downsized from 3 of those to 1.5, and even that is overwhelming. Even that, I just can't possibly, use all of. It's a lot. And so I've appreciated minimizing that so that I can go back and use the stuff that I really wish I'd had more time to give more love to. But because of new launches and the compulsion to just try everything as it was coming out, I didn't feel like I could, or I didn't want to, I lost interest, etc. so forth. I will say though, if we are picking on PR, Pixie recently I did a video about the new round of influencer collaborations they just sent out, and I wish I would have taken a picture of the packaging because it kind of surprised me with how big and bulky it was. It was like a big cardboard trifold box for what was basically 4 different palettes. You know what I mean? It was a lot of packaging and just a lot of box to ship from point A to point B. So I was kind of surprised by that because I kind of thought that companies were really getting away from the over-the-top packaging and extra add-ons, kind of knowing about how much bulk they not only add to people's houses and collections, but also the cost of, environmental cost of getting things from point A to point B. I don't know. I'm probably not the best one to speak about how trends like that have changed, but that is how it is personally for me. Back to the storage though. I am seriously considering new storage. Like I said, I've had my Alex IKEA drawers for quite some time, and it's not that they're bad, but I have seen some alternative storage solutions popping up here on YouTube, namely I can't tell. Is it a sneeze? Is it heartburn? This baby is giving me all sorts of surprises. What was I saying? It's called a pack system, and I've been seeing it in multiple different places here. Too much. Seeing it multiple places here on YouTube, and it seems like the drawers, it's more customizable. It's from IKEA. It's more modular. Well, the Alex drawers aren't modular at all, and so this is more like a closet system. So you can choose hanging racks or shelves with lighting, or drawers with lighting and glass fronts and glass bottoms to give you more visibility into what you have, and they look like they're shallower and wider and deeper as opposed to the IKEA drawers, which are taller and more narrow but way deep in the back, and so it's hard to reach what's in the back of your drawer. It looks like the pack system allows you to pull the drawers farther out, just get a better view of what you have going on in your collection. You know what I mean? It also keeps things more visually interesting. You can actually see what's in it through the drawer if you choose that. So that that is kind of what I'm eyeing as an updated makeup / other storage. That's the other great thing, because there are different things you can add on there, like clothing racks. You know, it serves as multi-purpose. It's not just drawers for makeup storage. And so I have been eyeing that. However, we're going through a little bit of a move, because what was the guest room is now the nursery. And so this studio that I am in is technically a spare bedroom. So we're thinking of moving the guest room in here now, and my studio will go into a larger room that is technically a media room, but it's just been like this spare blank space that we don't really have a use for. So it was like, that would be a great place to have kind of a content studio where my voice booth in the back would go, my filming setup would go, giving me more space, because this is, for everything I have going on in here, kind of a smaller room, especially compared to that one. And so a setup like this, plus, you know, that additional kind of drawer setup situation would work better in that room. However, it doesn't have a door on it, which I really need for sound isolation for my voice booth. And we've been working to find a contractor to fill the opening that we have and like frame out a door. And contractors are in short supply, you guys. I think they are super busy. Everyone is still doing DIYs on their house, and they are just as scared of doing it themselves as I am. So they're leaning hard on contractors, and it's just been super hard. I mean, months we've been looking, and I'm about ready to YouTube it. I think Andrew won't let me, which is definitely wise, because I know I would not do a good job, but I really want to get this move done, especially before the baby comes. Okay, now let's get into like the business of YouTube. A few of you guys had questions about how to grow your following, why certain YouTubers say they're YouTubers, but they're actually making content on a bunch of different platforms. Are they making money on those platforms? You get it. Let's talk about it. So first, let's talk about the platform question. Why do YouTubers, or people who call themselves YouTubers, also churn content out across a bunch of other platforms? Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. What else do we got we got a lot going on. And I think if you ask different creators, you will get different answers, because there are a few different reasons that I can just think of off the top of my head. The first of which is, what do they feel more creative on? You know, every platform has its unique characteristics. A lot of them are becoming more of the same because they're all copying off of each other. Like Instagram is now doing Reels, which is kind of the same thing as the entirety of TikTok. YouTube is now doing Shorts, which is the exact same thing as Reels and TikTok. But creators might find it easier or more fun to express themselves and their ideas in the different formats that are available on different platforms. Another reason might be just to grow a larger following, you know, so they're not solely dependent on YouTube. If YouTube disappears one day, if they move the target again and like the algorithm changes, you know, they have another way to reach people who have raised their hand to say they want to follow them. And there are different people across, I can't tell you how many times I'll mention something about, I posted this to Instagram, and in the comment section, someone will be like, well, can you share that here? Because I'm not on Instagram, I'm only on YouTube. You know, certain people exclusively prefer certain platforms. So you reach different people when you diversify like that. You can also connect with people differently. Like on Instagram, you can private, you used to be able to, back in my day, when I first started on YouTube, you could private message people. Not anymore. And so, you know, platforms like Instagram, where you can actually direct message someone and have a one-on-one conversation with someone who has hundreds of thousands, millions of followers or whatever, that's a really close connection that you can have with someone. And some creators really like that. And a lot of people really like having that connection with creators. And certain platforms just don't allow for that. Another thing is money. You know, growing your audience on other platforms enables you to diversify your income streams. Brands aren't just coming to you to make a YouTube video. You can also say, well, hey, I have these followers on Instagram, and you can do a sponsored post there as well. Or maybe the brand just has an Instagram campaign in mind, and so they don't care about your YouTube channel or your YouTube following. You know, they really just want you to engage with their fans and followers on Instagram or whatever the platform might be. Ooh, and speaking of, somebody actually explicitly asked how you make money on Instagram. And so, wait. Hold that thought. Before we get to that, I want to get to the eyes, and I want to use something brand new, and I think we need a swatch fest before we do. So here is the new Pat McGrath Huetopia palette. I have such an attraction to her mothership palettes. I have all the other ones, and so I really wanted to see how, in fact, I have a video if you want to see all of them compared and swatched. I'll link that down below. But I wanted to see how this one compared, and I'll be honest, right off the bat when I saw the swatches on Instagram, I kind of didn't think it was anything special. It actually reminded me of a combination of existing palettes she has, aside from, you know, the super special shimmery or like multi-chromatic, very dimensional shade she has in here. It reminded me a lot of the Divine Rose collections and a couple of other ones. So I'm excited to try it, but I'm going into it with kind of mixed feelings. This won't be a review in any sense of the word, but just kind of telling you where my head's at right now, you know? Ooh, okay, very interesting. Can you see that? No, you can't. I'm gonna fall off my chair. Oh, but I do think I'm gonna have to compare some of these all of these shades to the existing shades in the other palettes, because they do, as beautiful as they are, strike me as being a little similar. Anywho, back to the question of how you make money on Instagram. Sponsorships. To my knowledge, unless something has changed since I got out of the advertising game, 2.5 or 3 years ago, whatever it was, it's brand deals and sponsorships. Unlike YouTube, Instagram, which is owned by Facebook, neither platform really has a partner program like YouTube has, which is really kind of great when you think about it. The premise is that, you know, in exchange for allowing YouTube to show ads on your content, you get a cut of that advertising revenue. And Instagram and Facebook don't do that. Facebook might do that on Facebook video or their video platform with a select number of creators, but if you watch, but for the most part, if you're watching videos on YouTube from smaller accounts, they are not getting any money from those ad plays. Again, I'm pretty sure that is still the case. And with Instagram, they don't put ads over top of your content. So it's really like if you're in your stories or in your feed, it's in between posts. So there's kind of no incentive for them to give you, or no reason for them to give you a share of that ad revenue. So again, to my knowledge, it is just brand deals, which for those of you who aren't familiar, that is just where a brand approaches you and is like, hey, we'd like to work with you. We'll give you money in order to create content around this product. Is a really simplified version of that. There's often a lot of details that goes into the content, talking points. Different brands operate differently, different creators operate differently, but that's like the rough gist of it. It is when a brand pays you to create content on behalf of the brand and post it to your channel or Instagram account, as the question asked. Okay, the next question is a big one. I mean, I think it's a big answer. It's how can you increase your follower counts? This person is specifically asking for Instagram. Wow. Clearly didn't look in a mirror when she applied that primer. No, she did not. So how you can increase your follower account. And this is a complex, the meta answer is attention. All of the platforms are optimizing for user attention. They prioritize, their algorithms prioritize creators who keep users of the platform engaged, and it holds their attention. So like on YouTube, it is that you are getting people to click on your videos and not only watch them, but watch them for the duration of the video. Or maybe they, binge watch a bunch of your videos, or your video keeps them viewing other videos on the platform. But they prioritize content that people enjoy. And there are lots of signals that indicate that level of enjoyment, but watch time is a big one of them. And on Instagram, I would assume, they've announced a big shift to video, but the same is true there. It's video that keeps people engaged and on the platform and liking content. In fact, I think Instagram creators just did a post where they went through the signals, the user signals they look for that helps them determine what a good post is. I'll see if I can find that and link that down below. But the short answer is attention. Are you making content that holds the attention of the people you're creating content for? The strategy of how to do that, I wish I had the answer, but we'll get into that later. I think a question that I would ask myself is, do you really want followers? Because followers, or the number of followers you have, is good if they are actually interacting with you and engaging with you. And I'm not sure what your motivation, but if you want to be like a content creator who can monetize their platform and make money, or if you want to grow your community, you feel like you love the thing that you do and you want to reach other people who are also excited about the thing that you do. Either way, I would focus more so on engagement and creating the content that makes the people that currently follow you continue to support you and talk about you to other people, like share your content to other people. And that's how you're going to grow a community as opposed to a follower count, which it's kind of a vanity metric. For a little bit of background, I mentioned working in advertising. For like 5 or 6 years before I quit to do voice acting full-time, worked at an ad agency and just in advertising in general. And it was doing social media and also doing like influencer campaigns, working directly with influencers, like helping brands select them, and then like literally from start to finish, build the campaign, get the influencer through the content execution and like all that kind of stuff. And at that time, a lot of brands were focused on follower count. They were like, can we get someone with 1 million followers or however many, they want to like really big creators. But what you would sometimes see when you'd go look at an account like that is big following doesn't always mean an engaged audience, which when you go look at their content, not all of their people aren't like uniformly interested in all of the content they create. You know what I mean? They might have grown their following by creating video about like had a viral video. And so their audience is really interested in this super specific topic or niche or thing that they did. And they don't continue to create content like that or about that. And so the engagement on their later content, videos, posts, whatever it might be lower. Their audience isn't interested in that, or they don't know how to get their audience as interested in the things that they are interested in. Does that make sense? Does any of that make sense? Either way, in my opinion, don't worry about the follower count. Focus on making content that you love and making it in a way that gets other people as excited about it as you are. Okay, we have been blending our creases for forever. Now, how you capture and keep people's attention is a much harder question altogether. People have dedicated channels here on YouTube, their careers on how to do that on social media. And I can't say that I fully know the answer. There's like a lot of things. In fact, you might have seen, I've been posting a few community posts here on my channel asking questions like about your habits on YouTube, who you watch, why you watch them, things like that, because there's been a lot of talk here in the beauty community about how it's, shrinking, it's disappearing, or it's changing, or it's not what it once was. And creators themselves are, saying that their videos aren't, because of the YouTube algorithm, like not showing up in people's feeds. The audience that they have, that like the subscriber audience that they have, isn't showing up to watch their videos. And I've experienced the same thing. But I don't know that it is solely an algorithm issue. I mean, it is, but the content is designed to serve up the content that people will like to the people who will like it. And I think part of what's happening in the beauty community is that at least when I look elsewhere on YouTube, content formats are so different. Like, different things get a lot of views. And the way that they're structuring their videos are so different. Like, sometimes they're very fast-paced, sometimes they're more of a storytelling sort. Okay, we've got to get away from the crease. Sometimes they're more about storytelling. Sometimes it's literally, just about the creator's personality. There's something so magnetic about them that we will literally watch anything they do. And I feel like there's something about the beauty community that hasn't really adapted to that. We did for a minute. Challenge videos were super big, like doing your makeup in crazy places and, doing it in just doing outrageous things that were makeup related. And those things definitely had a wow factor. And then there's like drama, which has certainly a storytelling component to it. But for a lot of us, myself included, like, I don't know that the same stuff, the content, the topics that started beauty YouTube are the things that people are interested in anymore. And like, so we just haven't pivoted, like tutorials. A lot of people used to say they wanted tutorials, but I think just about every creator would tell you no one watched their tutorials. They would upload it because that's what people said they wanted, but what people said they wanted and their actual viewing habits were just very different. And don't get me wrong, I definitely think there is some comfort and nostalgia in the classic like favorites videos and haul videos. There's also just that burnout that has come with so many hauls or so much PR, so much new stuff that it's like, how do we still talk about the things that we love so much, you know, makeup, beauty, skincare, whatever, without getting so burnt out on just the churn of everything that's coming out. But I don't know, maybe that is just me. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I know a lot of other people are with me in, you know, just kind of being overwhelmed by the constant production of new makeup, but that's so much of that is what it seems like beauty YouTube was originally built on, was like, look at this cool new stuff that this brand is coming out with, like lots of seemingly never seen before kinds of things. And now it's coming out so fast. It's like, I literally saw that last year. Now everyone has a naked palette or everyone has a nude palette with a pop of whatever in it, you know? Okay, for everything this palette can do, I am not using it to its fullest extent. I'm so distracted by talking right now that I am like on autopilot doing this look. And while it is very pretty, like I like the way it's turning out and the shadows are nice and easy to work with, I feel like this palette, these colors and finishes deserve so much more than this. I am so sorry. Oh, duh, you know what I didn't use? Artistry wand from Pat McGrath. Okay, let's just pop a little something. How do I, oh, wasn't there a notch on here? Okay, what? So this is like, it looks like a, it is a balm stick. So it's a solid with a click up sort of situation. And I am going to put a pop of something fun in the center of my lid. Interesting. This hardly feels like anything. It feels kind of cool. It's not really removing the shadow underneath, and it kind of doesn't feel like it's even setting anything down. Okay, I'm gonna go in with this shade, just right in this. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, that is super pretty. And as I pat that shadow in, I can kind of feel something balmy there. I'll need to do a test, like one eye with, one eye without. Not today. I want continuity today. But when I like truly wear test this, I'll do one eye with and one without to see if it really does make like intensify shadow, make it stick better, make it stick longer, things like that. Because right now it's kind of hard to tell. It's kind of hard to tell with just this shade, especially because, you know, in some spaces it's just this shade, but I do love it. I hope you can see that from there. Trust me, it looks nice. Okay, I think, oh, bolder than I thought. I think I got to most of the questions. I tried to lump them in together and like answer as many of them as I could, but if left any out, if this sparked even more questions that you have, please leave them down in the comment section below, and also weigh in if you have opinions about any of the things that I talked about here today. Also, let us know. Let's have a conversation down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye guys.